Hello everyone, welcome to this morning's Facebook Live on this beautiful Monday morning. I hope everyone had a great weekend. And I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to get on board here because I know sometimes it takes a minute for people to get on board as we are preparing for our Facebook Live. I know sometimes it's hard for people when they're at work and they're in the car and they get the notification that, hey, Jeremy Lopez is live, and they want to be able to click on that and get on board. So as you get on board today, once again, let me know you're on the news feed tonight or today. I'd love to be able to be here today with you guys, and I'm excited as well. Make sure the team goes through the Identity Network Facebook, if you can, to where it doesn't show up your personal one. Just give my team food for thought on that, because I noticed it is. So anyway, I'm going to wait a couple minutes before everyone gets on board here. So we'll just stay tuned 1 second if you don't mind. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, want everybody to get on board here this morning. So I'm excited about everyone getting on board. Wait a couple minutes here. And this morning I'm going to talk about something that I think you guys really like too. I want to talk about basically preparing yourself for your vision board. I want to be able to get that for you guys as well, to teach you how to prepare for your vision board. I usually do this every 2 or 3 months to where it is fresh on people's minds, and they're actually able to understand exactly what is going to what their future is going to hold and what to do for the future. Because I know every couple months, once again, when I do this, is people don't really realize how to prepare yourself and what to do as far as a vision board and what to do as far as preparing your future. So I'm really glad you guys are on here this morning. Give me a second here, and we'll get everybody on board. We'll go and start here. Give me 1 second. Hold on a minute. Alrighty. There we go. So let's go ahead and start on this. All right. I love the vision board. Good, Adam. I'm glad you do. Hey, good morning, Eddie. And good morning, Jane and Brian and Adam. Hope everyone's doing great today. I'm looking forward to talking to everyone today. I'm not in my office today, but I'm doing words as usual. And so I'm doing it from a remote location. But anyway, I'm excited to be able to get with you guys today. So let's go and get started if we could, all right? Because I know, once again, people are asking, what to do with their future. Now, one of the things I'd like to tackle on the aspects of vision board is I like to be able to tackle the idea that, what to do. In other words, how to prepare yourself. So let's start today. So the first thing I want you guys to focus on is reflect on what you've done and what you've accomplished this previous year, okay? So once again, it doesn't have to be a fiscal year. It could be actually thanks, man, appreciate it, Eddie. It could be anything from like a physical year or maybe a previous season, spiritual season of your life, but whatever it is you feel like you're coming out of, I want you to make maybe a chart on your billboard, or as far as your vision board, or maybe notes or something on exactly what you're coming out of. In other words, what did I accomplish this year? Did I make new friends? Did I, release old friends? Did I get a new job? Do I, I accomplished, finally maybe going through law school, or I accomplished and got certified through this, school, or I was able to do this, or I was able to get married, or hey, I found the girl of my dreams, the guy of my dreams. Whatever it is you feel like your accomplishment was this year, I want you to begin to do that. I want you to begin to reflect on the aspect of what it is that you felt like you overcame. Maybe it was an addiction. Whatever it was you accomplished, or you overcame, or you mastered, you finished. That's what I want you guys to be able to think about for a couple of minutes, okay? Because on your vision board, it's not just about building the future you. It's also about knowing what the old you has passed away. What is it of you that you're carrying over into this new season versus what is it of the old you that you are no longer serves you, that no longer pleases you? What is the part of you that you feel like is done? And what I mean by that is this, the you that went through school, if the you that went through school is over with, get rid of that person. Now begin to think from the standpoint of what was it you got certified in? What was you graduated in? Think about it this way. You're no longer a student. What is the hardest thing for people in life is, empty nest syndrome. I'm used to being a mother for so many years. Now I'm not a mother. What do I do in my life? Well, you always prepare and plan and to make your transition. You never stop. First of all, you never stop ceasing being a mother until the day you die, but that's not who you are. You're not just a mother. You're not just a dad. And I think when empty nest syndrome people come from a place where they did not prepare. They did not know how to transition. They stayed in the old, and they put too much faith and power in their title as being a mom or dad. That was your problem. You can't do that. You're more than that. And so whatever it is you feel like you've accomplished, you've achieved, you have been rewarded, you have, students, for example, when students get out of school and they go to college, okay, there's a transition there, but they're still in that studenthood mentality, right? Then they go through that place of, going through 4 years or 6 years or whatever it is through college. Then once they go through college, they get out and they have to transition from being a student into, hey, I'm an adult now. Not that I was an adult before, because I was, but I'm transitioning into that place of adulthood. I'm no longer a student. You would be amazed how many people, who comes out into the world and they don't know how to function as an adult because they're too busy trying to be a student. And then they feel like everybody is still teaching them. A student that comes out of college or high school, they still feel like everyone is teaching them or training them. Of course, they have two different things that's wrong with them. One is I know it all. They become know-it-alls, which they don't know it all. Or they become to be that place where they're still a student subconsciously, and they don't realize the fact that people are not here to teach you. You've now mastered your teaching hood, your studenthood, for lack of better words. Now you're in the big world. You're in the real world. It's time to put your, as a kid, we used to say, put your, my mother used to tell my sisters, this is horrible to say, my mother used to tell my sisters, put your big panties on and come on, you got the world to handle. I'm like, oh my God, that's what happens when you live in a world of sisters. But it makes sense though, because the fact that you're no longer who you were. You're no longer who you used to be. So therefore, because of that, you now need to put on that place of adulthood. And so the point being is, what is it this past season you're no longer? What is it this past season that you have accomplished, you've mastered? Because if you do not finish these things, then you will never transition to the new. So in preparation for, and by the way, I'm going to get my team to put up the combo here in a minute. It gives you guys the option of creating your soul map combo, which is the book and the study guide, the workbook. And that way you'll be able to click on it. It'll give you the options between the actual hard copy books of the book and the workbook and the ebook, and that in the workbook. So I'm going to let my staff put up that up here in a little bit, and that way you guys can be able to choose which one you want, because I'm telling you, these books have helped people out. The book and the workbook has really helped people out a lot. Plus, I deal with vibration in that book as well, of creating your soul map. I deal with the aspects of, vibrationally, are you still attracting the old? You still pulling into your world the old, or are you pulling into the world, into the world your new things that your mind has transitioned already into? So when you're dealing with that, write down what you've accomplished, put on there what you have not accomplished and what you want to achieve. And actually write on your vision board what you no longer are. Once again, I'm no longer a student, or I'm no longer single, or I'm no longer married if you got divorced. And that's the hardest thing for most people. Well, I just see myself still married. My husband left me, my wife left me, I got a divorce, and I still see myself as being married. Well, that's one of your issues. You're still attracting something that has died. You're going to attract dead things. Think about that. When your mindset is still in the vibration of things that no longer are there, what happens is it still is attracting dead things. Put it another way. Vibrationally, vibration doesn't care about if something is alive or dead, nor does it care about what your heart is saying, how you're feeling. God has set into the universe energetic vibrations, which means, are you attracting still dead things? And this is the truth, but it's so hard to read because to read your life on, because some people don't realize that a living epistle being read by all men means that I'm able to be read of what it is I'm alive in. Are you with me? If you're divorced, for example, and you're just, I still see myself as being married, I don't know how to function as someone who's not married anymore, well, then you're necromancing. You're truly vibrationally necromancing. You're still attracting dead things that are no longer in your life. I mean, that's the truth. And so you can't talk to the dead things of your life, if that makes any sense, that are already passed on. And so, here's the key thing. Hey, if you're not talking to the dead, then you're talking to dead things. You see what I'm saying? And what that means for you is you're still vibrationally attracting what used to be. Oh, I was so in love with her. I was so in love with him, Well, your vibration doesn't care. Your feelings, vibrations and energy doesn't care. It doesn't fill your heart and say, oh man, she's really trying to change. He's trying to change. No, you're still vibrationally attracting the thing that's dead to you. You're still attracting the dead thing to you. And the dead thing is you're no longer in this relationship. Cut your mind off from being in the old relationship. Cut your mind off from, I used to love that job. That job, oh, it was such an amazing job. We'll cut it off. It's dead to you. Quit talking to the dead things in your life that are no longer in your life, okay? And that's right. You become a vampire, Diane. That's true. You don't want to do that, And so you want to be able to understand, hey, this is not about, what is the famous zombie? Man, I have friends that watch this show. What is it? Walking Dead, yeah. I mean, you're not a Walking Dead here. You're not, you're not around. You're around dead things, and you're attracting vibrationally dead zombies, dead things in your life because you haven't transitioned consciously into a new vibration of understanding what is it that is dead to me. So let's continue. Let's get back on my subject. So basically, you need to understand if you're going to attract into the from God's kingdom the new things. The things that are waiting on you that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, nor has it entered the heart of man. Are you attracting vibrationally, the open doorness of the kingdom, attracting the new things? Behold, I do a new thing. All good things flow down from the Father of lights, and in me there's a shadow of turning. That means all the good things is letting you know that the good things represent the new things, the alive things for you as a living epistle. So you've got to begin to understand what is it I'm attracting. And you might think, well, I'm no longer this, I'm no longer that, so I'm going to start a new path. But subconsciously, you can still be in that trap, in the zone of what you wish to be in. If you're still in the zone of the dead things, then you got to understand that you're still going to attract these things. It's not just a change of heart. It's a change of consciousness. It's a change of thought. And plus, you got to understand that the thought of the heart, because as a man thinketh in his heart, that's the hardest thing to change. But you have to dive deep in you and see exactly what it is you're doing. It's like, for example, the Bible talks about a dog returning back to its vomit. Subconsciously, many of you have thoughts like a dog returning back to your vomit, returning back to things that are dead. And that's why you no longer are vibrationally into this new match of what God wants you to be into, because you're still going back to your throw up. I mean, that sounds gross, but it's true. And plus you're not an animal. You're a son of God. And so I would say, reflect on what you've accomplished this year. Reflect on, what you've mastered, what you've finished, or what's dead to you, and then begin to, and put on your vision board. Put it on your vision board to where you're not going to attract it if you're on your vision board. What you're doing is you're subconsciously understanding what you're letting go and what you're clinging to, what you're letting go of and what you're moving into. Your vision board is your transition. Your vision board is your spiritual transitional box. It's telling you what you're transitioning out of, what you've accomplished, and what you're transitioning into. You've got to begin to understand that. So that's why it's very important to understand vibration and energy. Very important to understand vision boards and what a vision board is for you definition-wise. You've got to begin to understand exactly what am I transitioning into versus what am I transitioning out of. And bury it, say goodbye to it, acknowledge it, bring it to your awareness of your now moment, and then transition out of it. That way you're understanding, you're acknowledging what is dead to you, you're acknowledging what you've accomplished, you've acknowledged what you achieved, you bring it to your awareness, and you say, now I can bury this. Let the dead bury the dead, now I can bury this, now I can move on over into the new thing for me. The new ministry, the new job, the new girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, or the wife, or the husband, or the children, And so you've got to understand what you've accomplished. Next point I'm going to make to you, and by the way, you can find pretty much all of this in my combo book of Creating Your Soul Map Combo, which is the book and the workbook, which you can click on the link that my staff put up there for you guys to be able to understand that concept, because it's very important you understand all the aspects of your life. Because people can say, I want something new. I want something new. Let me tell you something. I have watched people say, I just claim I'm going to be a millionaire this year. And I'm sort of going, okay, well, what have you done to accomplish it? How are you transitioning into that realm? And I look, and people don't really realize, name and claim it is hocus pocus. Name it and claim it does nothing for you. Name it and claim it is some magic potion you're trying to conjure up. It's not the kingdom of God. It's not about, when people tell me in life coaching, I just know I'm going to be a millionaire this year. my first response to them is really, well, how are you accomplishing that? Okay, well, did you get a new job? Have you started a new business? What are your goals to get that? Oh, I just know God told me he's going to give me money. Well, you know what? I don't mean this bad, but you're listening to a false idol, because God doesn't work on that level. God does not do that. God teaches you this step upon step, line upon line, precept on precept. What are your goals? What are your visions? How are you accomplishing that? You think God's going to drop $1 million into your lunchbox or your mailbox, or because somebody's just going to walk you down the street? Very rare do people walk down the street and say, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million. It's pretty much really never happened in life, in history that I know of. But not I'm saying it can't, but God is a God of vision. He's a God of purpose. He's a God of action. He's a God of energy. He's a God of once again, steps. That's how, the outer court, inner court, holy of holies, those are steps. Some people just think I'm going to be in the Holy Holies by claiming $1 million or claiming I'm going to live in a mansion this year. Well, okay. What steps have taken you from the outer court, the inner court, the holy place? Tell me your steps. Because without a vision, the people perish. If you think God's going to bypass his word just to tell you, well, I know God's told me I'm going to be a millionaire. If you think God's going to bypass his word to make you a millionaire, you got another thing coming. It's not going to happen. God is not going to bypass his promises where he lets you know this is how you do it. This is what goes on. God doesn't he's not Lucky Charms. God is not magically delicious. It doesn't happen that way. You got to know the steps in which to take because if you don't have experience. You don't have vision. You don't have steps. How are you ever going to help anybody? Here's the problem. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt with many of you because I love you all. You're my family. So I'm gonna tell you like if you're sitting in my living room right now, which I'm not in my living room, but my living room looks a lot better than this. But if I was, if you were, I would tell you this, and that is this: that you can't expect God to make you a multimillionaire by sitting on your rear end. It's not going to happen. And it's not because I'm being negative. It's not because you don't say that over my life, Jeremy. No, God does not work that way. Because if you don't have an experience, here's why I'll tell you this. If you're desiring $1 million and God is not giving you the strategies, the plans for you to build, not for God to build, for you to build. It's like the life of God is like chess. He makes a move, I make a move. And if you want to get biblical about it, he says, draw near to me and I'll draw near to you. The first step is for you to draw near to him. He never said he's going to draw near to you first. According to scriptures, legally, it's you draw near to God. Then he draws near to you. So what is your steps to do it? So my point being is if you say, God's promised me to be a millionaire. Oh, praise the Lord, I'm going to be a millionaire. And yet you have no vision, you're going to perish. I don't care how much you claim it, sit on it, grab it, blab it, doesn't matter. You will never accomplish anything because a person who sees themselves as a multimillionaire, I understand this because I know this for a fact. It's my experience. If you understand the aspects of being a millionaire, okay, God never does anything without the power of giving and receiving. So you're in the mode of receiving. You're not in the vision of giving. Then you'll never be a millionaire. If you think God's going to make you a millionaire for you just to enjoy and just to sit on and just never do anything with anybody else, you're not in the right mindset of framework of the kingdom. Because for me, when I got into the idea of the vision of saying, this is why I need this God, and I need it from my experience. Why? Because if you think God's just going to magically drop it in your mailbox and you're going to bypass your experience of getting $1 million, let me be honest with you. That is selfish. It's self-motivating. It's very toxic. And you're worshiping a false idol that is magic. Because what if God gave you $1 million supernaturally overnight in your mailbox and poof, there it is? Let me ask you this question. Where's your vision of that, of loving other people to tell them how to do it? Hello? Where's your vision? Where's your action steps that you can help other people in becoming, a multimillionaire? See, the problem with motivational speakers and some Christians is some Christians rely on God to magically give it to them. They don't care about the experience. They don't care about stepping stones, which means they don't care about anybody else. They don't love anybody else about telling them how to do it. Motivational speakers will tell you how to do it. How to make a vision board, how to make stepping stones to get there. Because you know why? Because they see the full picture of the bigger picture of people. You're too busy seeing the bigger picture of yourself. Me. That's why God doesn't bless you with $1 million. That's why God doesn't bless you with a new car, a new home, whatever. Everything in the kingdom is about giving. For God so loved the world that he gave. Everything in the universe is about giving. The entire universe is made up of strategies of giving, receiving, vibrationally, energy. People wonder, well, we're not into karma. We're not Buddhists. Well, you know what? You understand the idea that every religion even has a coming and a going. So it is above, so below. Karma, law of attraction, sowing and reaping. Everything else is involved in this except Christians. Because they don't realize that their experience is the most important aspect of their life, because they overcome by the aspect of their experience. And if you're going to be experiential, then you'll be able to know how to be able to receive what God's promised you. If you're not wanting to move experiential, don't expect God to give you anything, because you're too busy being self-motivated, you're too busy being selfish, and now you want everything for yourself. And it's not about helping other people to tell them the steps in which you did it and the experience in which you did it. You can just say, oh, God's going to bless me. He's going to bless you like he blessed me. That is not helping anyone at all. You're telling them about a magic. You're telling them about the power of a warlock. You've been watching Lord of the Rings too much. I love Lord of the Rings. It's my all-time favorite series. But you can't do that. So you have to understand the power of unlimitedness by walking out your salvation, fear, and trembling, working it out your salvation, fear, and trembling, working the same aspect of it. You have to begin to know the steps through your vision to know how to help you. That helps other people as well. Okay, so what are the next directions and steps you're going to be taking in your life? Okay, you're the architect of your life. God builds a foundation. You begin to build the walls. You begin to put the pictures on the walls. You begin to build the roof. He builds you the foundation. He's the chief cornerstone. You build the walls. You build the roof. You build the inside, the decor of your spiritual life by incorporating and housing vision in you, housing dreams in you, housing expectations, inspirations, housing other people's experiences and how it looks for you, housing principles of other people, housing other people. When people tell me, oh, I'm going to be multimillionaire, I always say, great. Are you surrounding yourself with millionaire people? Oh, no, brother. They're too worldly for me. Okay, well, you're still not going to be a millionaire. You got to begin to realize the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We get that. We've heard that before. Doesn't mean you're cursed. But you have to remember, because it doesn't fall far from the tree, that means you've got old images and old imaginations and old paradigms and old principles that your mama taught, your daddy taught you. Your mom and dad might have been powerful people. But if they didn't teach you how to become successful, then they weren't the best parents. No offense, folks. I'm just truthful. That you can teach people love, you can teach them how to get near God, but if you don't tell them the principles of God, if you don't teach your children how to become visionaries, if you don't teach people how to begin to see these things in life. A friend of mine just texted me. Sorry, guys. Then you don't understand. You won't understand the realization of the experiential aspects of the stepping stones. You've got to begin to walk and move in that realm of understanding. That parents are good parents if they teach your children how to be visionaries. Parents are good parents if they teach them how to begin to move money around in their lives and how to invest money. It's great that you said, well, my parents told me about Jesus. Well, what did they tell you about Jesus? Because the real Jesus I knew has a kingdom. The real Jesus I know is a king of a kingdom. Are you with me? The real Jesus I know teaches principles and parables and taught people how to begin to become what it is they need to be in their life. That's the real Jesus. If your parents just told you, how to get saved in Jesus, then they didn't teach the Jesus of the kingdom. They taught you the Jesus of some of the scriptures they read in the Bible. No offense, folks, but you've got to understand life is about overcoming. Life is about being a living epistle read by all men. If you're not being read by Buddhists, if you're not being read by Hindu, if you're not being read by atheists, if you're not being read by people, and you're just being read by your same charismatic friends that make you feel comfortable just to confirm your language and your Christianese language, you're not being read by all men. Then you're not being a living epistle. Come on. You're being a living page. I don't want to be a living page. A living page read by some, it means that you're surrounding yourself with just charismatic people. Oh, Jeremy, I just want to be surrounded by people that are like me. Then you'll never become a millionaire. You'll never be successful in this world. Successful people know to hang around successful people. Rich people hang around rich people. Okay, I'm just being honest with you guys. Doesn't mean you can't have friends outside of that, because you should. We're here to minister to the world. You're here to minister to the poorest of the poorest, the richest of the richest. But if you're not surrounding your life full of people that are different from you, if you're not surrounding yourself of people that are all from all different walks of life, you're not being a living epistle, because you're not being read by all men. There's two aspects in that verse that people miss, and that is living epistle has to accompany being read by all men. Come on, people. Eddie, are you with me today? Eddie, help me out, my brother. That scripture, that means this: you're not a living epistle if you're not being read by all men. If you're not being read by all men, you're not a living epistle. Two aspects of that one verse. What makes you a living epistle is that you're being read by all men. If you're being read by people, by just church folk, you're not a living epistle. If you're being read by people at work, but you don't go out and socialize and don't do things outside of your church or work, you're not being a living epistle. That verse holds two aspects. I'm a living epistle read by all men. If I'm not being read by all men, I'm not a living epistle. If I'm a living epistle, I'm going to be surrounded by all men. Come on, people. Come on. That's right. Thank you, Terry. Wear many hats. If you're wearing your priestly garment, you're not being led by, you're not being witnessed, you're not being, surrounded by all people. In my life, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, okay, just the present moment, just so people to understand, present moment, I'm in LA. I've got clients I've been dealing with, and, in fact, I'm meeting clients tonight that are good friends of mine. I'm meeting clients tonight that, of the producer who actually has been with Ed Sheeran. He just got off tour, matter of fact, with Ed Sheeran. He's produced with Alicia Keys, Justin Timberlake. He's been on with so many different people, and the truth of the matter is, he is a multimillionaire. It doesn't impress me of his millionaire status, but it does impress me because when I came into my own finances, I was able to vibrate with that same tone of voice. So in order to match that, you've become that. If you have to become that, you can't match the vibration of learning to be all things to all people. You might win some. You got to begin to understand what makes you a living epistle, okay? By the way, I'm doing words today too, okay? So just let you know. No, Eddie, I'm not in the best Western, okay? Not in the best Western. I'm in something a little bit better than that. But anyway, so you have to begin to understand that, I'm still doing words, in fact, throughout the day here. But you have to realize that power, okay? So I want you guys to understand that. And when you do, life will be different. So I want you today to begin to realize that power of understanding that what is your accomplishments from last year? What do you want to accomplish this year? And then you have to understand the understanding of the direction you want to go this year. What is the direction for this year of your life? Write it down. Put it on your vision board. Get this book and workbook, folks. It will help you guys understand. It helps you understand vibrationally, the vibrational match you want to be in. It helps you understand the mindset you want to change. It helps you to understand exactly where you're coming from and where you're going. It helps you to teach you the visionary aspects of you. It helps you to teach exactly, how to be able to create a vision board. I mean, all of these things are important. So before I dismiss, let me say to everybody, Levon, I'm glad you're on here. Judith, hello, my friend. Monica, let me say Monica. Yes, welcome to California. Thank you, Monica. See, Kevin, is that it? Adam, as always. Eddie, my friend. Jane, Terry. Let's see here. Wow, all my friends. Desiree, Rachel, Donna. I'm glad everybody's on here today. Adam again, Tamila. Desiree again. Look at you guys. Deborah, Rebecca. All my favorites are on here. You guys are all my favorites. Sabrina, Tamila again, Donna. I'm so glad. Let's see here. We got, Kathy's on here as well. Good morning, Kathy. So I'm so glad you guys are all on board today. I really want to encourage you. Go to the link right there, and seriously, don't waste time today without getting this book and workbook, because it'll help you guys out. Okay, it'll help you guys out. Order today. If you order the book, the workbook, and the book, I'll autograph it for you guys today. I'll be back in the office tomorrow. I can autograph them for you guys. If you get the ebooks, hey, you can start them right now. Today is the day of salvation. You can start reading today the book and the workbook. But don't forget, order Creating Your Soul Map combo today, all right? So you can jettison yourself into the future of the future you're called to be. All right, you guys have a blessed day. Talk to you soon.